Hi everybody, Joel Carlson with Faces of Minnesota. Today my guest is KARE 11 anchor and reporter Rena Sarigianopoulos. So we look forward to meeting her and getting to know a little bit about her and what she does every day. So Rena, will ask you this first to start off with. Where did you grow up, and what were some of the things that you were interested in growing up that maybe led you to become a journalist?
Well, I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, and lived there all the way through college, and started my tour of the Midwestern states and cities as I followed my journalism career. As far as things that happened to me when I was young that got me into this, I had no idea that this is what I was going to do for a living. Didn't even go to college for journalism. I actually was a business major and a communications major, and I had planned on going to Ball State to get my business communications master's degree. But something happened my senior year in college, and I ended up having a class with kind of like the Don Shelby of the town that I lived in, and I got very interested in what he was doing. I ended up interning at the TV station, and one thing led to another, and here I am in Minnesota 16 years later. So.
All right. So what kind of training, I assume, were you an intern then at first at that local station?
I was, actually. The first thing I ever did was this little segment called Talkback, where they took college students and you wrote an editorial once a week, and they aired it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I did an editorial on the fact that the Ohio legislature was going to pass a concealed carry law, or at least it was up for debate, and I was opposed to it, with my father being a police officer and all. And so I wrote this 60-second editorial about it, and they approved it, and it aired, and the local chapter of the NRA called and asked that they pull it off the air, and they did, and I was furious over that. I thought that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of before. So that's when I got the internship, and decided that I was going to fight for the little people, and speak up for the people that can't speak up for themselves. That sort of noble thing that everybody thinks that they want to do when they go into journalism. And when I did the internship, I did things like stuffed envelopes for Mr. Food, and typical intern sorts of things, and that wasn't exciting to me. And then they had some sort of newsroom reorganization halfway through my internship, and they lost a producer, and they said, oh hey, you're free labor, why don't we make you a producer? And so suddenly there I was a senior in college, and I was producing a evening newscast in my hometown, and you couldn't even expect it to go any better than it did. And then I just decided that being in the building all day wasn't for me, so I wanted to try reporting, so that's what I did.
Do you think, Rena, that having that producer involvement, that really helped you as far as understanding how stories are done and put together and then broadcast?
I do, and at some point in my career I was also a photographer as well. What we used to call one-man bands, now we call multimedia journalists, where you're having to go out and shoot the video as well. But having that experience as a producer and having the experience as a photographer, I think has helped make me a better reporter, because I understand other people's jobs better, and I understand as a whole how the product gets on the air. So it's not even just about the journalism, it is truly about the process of putting something together. And yes, I absolutely feel like being a producer helped me move through my career better.
All right. Now, besides obviously your very first story, any other stories that you've covered between then and now that really made an impact on you, or that you were very proud of, either maybe of storms or particular events or something like that?
In 16 years? Yeah, there's probably been a few. That's always such a hard one for me. I could just name you a couple things that happened in the last year, because that's about as far as my memory will allow me to go back. We did a story on teen homelessness in the suburbs here in the Twin Cities, and gosh, it was something that it really moved me, because I don't have children, but you live in the suburbs or in the city, and you go about your day and you go get your groceries, and you go home, and you don't think about teenagers not having a place to live. And
it's unexpected.
It's unexpected, and they're the one group that's literally falling through the cracks, because children that are younger can go to shelters with their parents. If you're an adult and you're older, you can go to an adult shelter, but there's really, I believe it's 80-some beds in the entire state for teenagers, and we have on any given night 2,500 teenagers that are homeless. Do the math, it doesn't work out, So I was really proud to be a part of that story, and we were actually not just doing the story, we were trying to find a solution as well. So that was very exciting for me to be a part of, to know that you're not only just telling everybody about this problem, you're trying to help solve the problem too.
Now, when did you start your term being here at KARE? Now, was it KARE back then? I know the callers have changed a few times.
Oh gosh, how old do you think I am? I haven't been here that long. Yes, it was KARE. It was only 6.5 years ago. So,
okay.
Yes, it's been KARE for many years, I believe. I think since the 80s, I believe it's been KARE. Yeah, so I started in October of 2005. That's when it was.
Okay. How has your experience been? I know Eric Perkins and you kind of have a brother-sister relationship. How has it been working with him? Have you both been able to, help each other and learn from each other?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, he's just hilarious. So he makes coming to work a lot more fun. And when you have that friendly relationship with your co-anchor, you just feel so comfortable. It makes your job. It comes across, I hope, to the viewers that way, that you're enjoying what you're doing and it's not just a job, or you're not just delivering the news, but it's actually something that you enjoy being a part of, and I think that hopefully makes the experience better for the viewer. But absolutely, people used to tell me I'm so serious all the time, so I've learned to relax a little bit around him, and hopefully he's learned to not relax so much around me. But we have a ton of fun, and I feel very blessed to have him as my partner. I do.